Lucky Boys Podcast.
I was working at like a pretty good, physical therapy job. Like, big respect for my previous boss and like the environment that he had, because I grew a lot with that job. But I kind of realized like what my ceiling was there. But I also didn't want to leave because I didn't want to leave just to do the same thing. I felt like that's tough to leave a job and be a competitor of that job. It's kind of like, I don't want to say burning a bridge, but you get that, it gets murky, some hostility there. It's like, oh man, like I helped you come up and now you bounce into do your own thing and, all that stuff. So I kind of had like my own vision of like what I wanted to do ultimately, which is provide quality healthcare at an affordable price, something that's outside of an insurance model. And it's very cheap so that, people can afford it. Doesn't matter if you're making minimum wage, doesn't matter if you're, in East Brooklyn or wherever area. I wanted to be so affordable that anyone can have access to it. So that's my ultimate goal, like physical therapy right now, but health and wellness for everybody in the future.
Yeah.
So when I realized that, I was like, man, I got to make the jump because...
Hey, hold on, let's pause. Sorry, everyone listening. It's we're in the
New York.
middle of New York, so... Hey, we haven't had one in the podcast, like a siren interrupt us in a while.
There was actually a siren last week.
Oh, was there?
Oh, no, it was a motorcycle. It was...
Oh, motorcycle, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. So I was just like, once you start thinking about that, like, I got hyped. Like, it was my friend's birthday in Austin, and I was kind of going through these situations with my girlfriend. And that whole weekend, she's like, man, you look off. And my boy was like, yo, you look off too, man. Like, you're not really chilling and vibing. And we went to like a barbecue spot, one of the best spots in Austin. I ate like one piece of like a barbecue rib.
And that's a red flag right there, one piece.
Yeah, my girl was like, yo, that's it? I'm like, yeah, you got to wrap this up. Like, I got to go. So I step outside the barbecue restaurant, and she's like, what's wrong? And I start fucking bursting out into tears. I was like, yo, I just can't do this no more. Like, I just want to live life on my terms. I want to solve the problems I want to solve, Like, I want to get after it. Once I got back from that trip, I pretty much, I talked to my boss about it, and I couldn't like sleep for like a week, like leading up to that conversation. All I was thinking about was like how I'm going to serve a purpose, how I'm going to serve people that need my service. Because I work with a lot of people that have chronic pain, that have seen multiple, physical therapists, doctors, and they haven't had any solution. I'm their last resort. I want to help people in the inner city. We did like a fundraiser for that, helping fund after school programs for inner city kids. So for me, it's like I get to live life on my terms, serve the people that are underserved, and like leave behind something, know that I really impacted the world. So it was an easy decision to make once I realized like that was my calling. And that calling might change, a couple of years down the line, but I'm not going to know what's right unless I chase after it. Until I strive it and like give it everything I got. You're not going to know until you do it to your full potential.
I think you're doing yourself a huge disservice if you don't explore the inner voice that's calling to you. And I think you hit the nail right in the head. How many of us are at a breaking point where we want to cry, right? Where it's just things. I mean, you're at Austin, one of the best barbecue. I mean, if you can only eat one piece of brisket or something, and I mean,
those ribs are huge.
They're so good, man. They're so good. And I mean, something's really wrong if you're so distracted or just feel that you're not at peace where you can't really enjoy yourself. Then I would say, at the very least, you got to open up to the idea of what's on the other side.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
Now you have your answer. You can be at least, you can provide some peace for yourself.
Because you actually went for it, and there's no regrets.
There you go. That's it. It's let's break this down. It's like seeing that girl or having that girl, but you're too afraid to let her know how you truly feel, right? And then, but you kind of think she likes you, but you're not sure. Like, I'm pretty sure she likes me, but I don't know. I don't want to feel rejected. And you never tell her, and she never tells you, and you're left wondering, was that the one that got away? Was that the one? Because that moment passed by. Where I could have kissed her, where I could have did something about it to tell her how I feel. I
Get
think that's
into
the key
that. Maybe
thing.
you say hi, you get to know her, you're like, nah, this ain't for me.
She opened her mouth and no.
What you said, it was like, Norm was like asking me before, is like, what's your company name? I'm like, oh, it's called Moment Physical Therapy and Performance. And that's the thing. It's like, I realize it's always like one thing, right? Something happens and everything changes. And that's what I want to provide for people. Like when I was coming up, I had a lot of like, I just wasn't a good kid, not good academically, not good family wise. So like I struggled with a little bit of anxiety and a lot of things like that in college.
And now you're a doctor.
Somehow. But like, I read books, I got mentored, and I seeked out help. And then there were moments in my life where I was like, damn, like I could be more. I could do more. And that's what I want to provide for people, because I knew what it's like to not feel stuck, not know where to go. And that's who I see all the time, people that feel stuck, feel like they don't got an answer, that they're going to have to just live with the pain because that's what people told them. So I want to provide them with a moment of clarity that, one, they can solve their problems. There's something for them, and that they don't have to settle for this life just because someone else told them that they're going to have to live this pain. You got a herniated disc, you'll never be able to play basketball again. You tore your Achilles, yeah, good luck playing this sport, or etc. Like, there's going to be moments where you realize that you're capable of more, and that's the thought process behind names. Like, I want to provide you with those moments.
Right.
Lucky Boys Podcast.